Hi all, a very good day to all of you. I will be your English teacher for the day. My name is Darryl Matthew George. Hello, my name is Darryl Matthew George and I am fondly known as DMG Sir. So you can call me either ways. So I will be giving you tips and tricks on how to solve the English, the upcoming English board exam, and also tackling the preparatory exams that will be coming in a few weeks time. So this is our first video, so a very warm welcome to all of you. So all your important doubts will be cleared, very helpful updates, inputs will be given to you so as to help you score the optimum marks in the incoming preparatory and the board exam. So we'll start. So this is the first video. So in this first video we will be discussing the second PUC English weightage. So as you all may know, we have two textbooks. One is the literature textbook and the other the grammar workbook. So every second PU student should mandatorily have these two, the textbook and the workbook. So our textbook, that is the literature textbook, is the Springs textbook. Okay, comprising of our short stories, poems, and the drama, the play. Okay, that is the Springs textbook, the literature textbook. The second book that all of you students should be having is the Streams workbook. The Streams workbook. Okay, so in the 80 mark preparatory as well as the final exam that you guys are writing, 40 marks, okay, will be coming from the Springs textbook and the other 40 from the Streams workbook. So equal weightage, okay, equal weightage for both Springs and Streams textbooks respectively. So you have to, there is no priority, you have to prioritize both the books when you're preparing for the exam, okay. So both Springs and Streams will carry 40 marks each in the 80 marks exam. Okay, so moving on, we'll discuss the contents, that is the syllabus in the Springs and Streams workbooks respectively, the important chapters as in the weightage, okay, which are the chapters that hold more weightage in the board exam, okay, and which chapters you have to prioritize, which chapters you have to skip also. Now in the Streams workbook, there are certain units that have not been asked till now in the previous 2-3 years of board exam history. So there are some chapters, sub-units that you can skip in the Streams workbook. So we'll discuss all that in this video. So moving on to the next slide, we will see the weightage in the literature textbook, that is the Springs textbook, okay. And this is the syllabus, the contents in your literature textbook, that is your Springs textbook. In total, you have 14 chapters, okay. 14 chapters are there, and all 14 chapters are part of your board exam syllabus. Now, you would have been given the advice that there are some chapters in the Springs textbook that you can skip, okay. Maybe in the last 1 or 2 years, questions would have not been asked from some of the chapters, okay. But the recent trend, if you notice, is almost all the chapters questions are asked, okay. Be it the midterm exam that you wrote, be it the first preparatory that you wrote, okay. Almost all the chapters in this in the content list are covered. So all 14 chapters are important, but even then, to make your preparation easy, we will discuss the weightage, okay. So among the 14 chapters in your Springs textbook, which is the most important chapter? So the most important chapter, okay, among the 14 chapters is the fifth chapter. Okay, so the most important chapter, as I was telling earlier, is the fifth chapter, which is the only play in the textbook. This play holds the most priority, 8 marks, okay, 8 marks from this chapter in your midterm or the board exam. In your preparatory or the board exam will be coming from the fifth chapter, that is a sunny morning. So after sunny morning, which are the chapters that you should prioritize? So the next chapters that you should be prioritizing is the second chapter, 2 Deer, The fourth chapter, Everything I Need to Know I Learned in the Forest. That is the chapter on Vandana Shiva. and her accomplishments and the initiatives that she took. The next chapter, The Gardener, I believe that books will never disappear. The Voter, and Where There is a Wheel. So after a sunny morning, these are the 6 chapters, okay, that you should be prioritizing for your preparation, because most of the 4-marker questions as well as the MCQs will be centered around these 6 chapters, okay. So this should be second in your priority list as you prepare. Again, as I said earlier, your priority should be the play a sunny morning, okay, and next in line should be these 6 chapters, okay, because most of the questions in the 40 marks literature will be centered around these chapters, okay. So the remaining set of chapters, that is your poems and the remaining set of chapters and the poems will hold third priority. So in your preparation, in your course of preparation, this is how you should be prioritizing: a sunny morning first, the next 6 chapters as I highlighted earlier, and the remaining chapters towards the end of your preparation, okay. So this will help you score optimum in the 40-mark literature part in your preparatory as well as the board exam, okay. So this is all with respect to the literature part, that is your Spring's textbook. Moving on, so this is the contents, the syllabus from the grammar part, that is your streams workbook, okay. Streams workbook, in all you have 17 chapters. Yes, streams workbook you have 17 chapters. However, there are some chapters that have never been asked before in the previous years, in the entire history of the board exam. Some questions have been entirely skipped, okay. You can keep those chapters towards the end of your preparation, okay. Those chapters, the chapters that you mainly need to be skipping or need to be keeping at the end of your priority list, are as follows. Okay, coming back. So these 17 subunits are of extreme importance. So many of the chapters in your streams textbook, some of the chapters in your streams textbook are not visible here, okay. Of course, those are the chapters that you have to be skipping. For example, report writing being one of them. Report writing is not given here. Summarizing is another. So these are chapters or sub-chapters that you will find in your streams textbook, but is not part of your preparatory or your board exam syllabus, okay. So report writing and summarizing are some of the chapters that you have to be skipping. You don't have to be preparing. But these 17 subunits, however, are of utmost importance, okay. So moving on, what should you prioritize, okay. Now, as you see in the weightage that is given in the screen, the 10th and 11th chapters, that is the comprehension, okay, the prose and poetry comprehension hold the most weightage, that is 9 marks each, okay, mandatory. Now, as you all may know, the question paper is divided into 4 sections: part A, part B, part C and D. 5 sections, part D and part E also, okay. In this, part C is your comprehension part, okay, part C. Part C is your comprehension part, and part C carries 9 marks, okay. So you have written your preparatory exam, so you all know part C is for 9 marks. So the entire part is dedicated to the comprehension, okay. So this time, and also in the coming preparatory exam as well as the final board exam, your comprehension will be an OR question, okay. Comprehension will be an OR question. Meaning you will be given 2 questions in part C, okay. 2 questions in part C. One question will be your unseen passage or prose, okay. Unseen passage or prose. So the thing about unseen passage is you have not come across the passage before, okay. So the first time you'll be given a passage that you would not have come across, an unseen passage. So either you get an unseen passage or you get an unseen poem, okay. So it's an OR question. So both the questions carry 9 marks. You can attempt one of the 2 questions. So 9 questions, or in the unseen passage you may get 8 questions, okay. total 9 marks. One of the 8 questions will be for 2 marks, okay? But if it's a poetry question, you'll be having all 9 1-mark questions. So the part C, or your reading part, will carry the most weightage, okay, from the grammar part that you are preparing for, okay? But apart from the reading comprehension part, which part carries the maximum weightage, okay? So if you, as you have written through the previous few question papers, you know which part carries the most marks. That is none other than the reported speech, okay? Reported speech will usually be a dialogue between 2 people, okay? 3 or 4 conversations or 5 conversations max, okay? That will be given in the direct speech. Direct speech, okay? So this is basically your question. So the question is a conversation between 2 people, which will be given in the direct speech. You have to write it in the reported speech. And how do you write it in the reported speech? You write it in the form of 1 paragraph, okay? 1 concise paragraph. One para, okay? Some of you compartmentalize, report the first dialogue, then leave some space, report the second dialogue, leave some space, report the third dialogue, which is not recommended, okay? When you're reporting the conversation, okay, write the entire conversation in 1 complete paragraph, okay? And make no mistake, reported speech is going to be a short question for the coming preparatory exam as well as your final board exam. So utmost importance should be given to reported speech because it carries 5 marks, and most of you students tend to lose marks in reported speech, okay? So in the upcoming videos, we will discuss on how to tackle the reported speech questions, okay? Moving on, which are the other questions? So we have a part A, okay? Part A in our question paper, which most of you all have seen. The part A in the question paper usually carries the 10 1-mark MCQs, yes or no? So part A, the total weightage is 20 marks. So the 10 questions will be from the literature part. The other 10 questions, okay, will be divided in the form 3. The other 10 questions will be divided in the form 3, 2 and 5 mark, okay? So the 3-mark question will most usually be the passive form, as you see here, passive verbs, okay? So next in line in your priority list should be passive verbs, okay? Converting or writing the verb in its passive form. So that should be next in your priority list. After which you get a 2-mark question on idiomatic expressions, which will also be a short question in part A, okay? And last but not the least, the 5-mark question will be on pronouns, okay? So these parts should be prioritized when preparing for the preparatory and the board exam, okay? Of course, all the others should be covered, but if you have limited time, okay, this should be on your priority list, starting with a reported speech, okay? Reported speech is a short question, 5 marks. Next, prepare for pronouns, verbs, passive verbs and expressions, okay? So in total, you will be, comprehension included, you will have to be tackling in total 24 marks, okay, from these units that you have to be covering, okay? So 24 marks will be coming from these important units that you're preparing for. So all the best when preparing. So this is the weightage, and keep the weightage in mind. Okay, so all the best in this early stages of your preparation for the board exam. We will be meeting across many videos. All your doubts will be cleared. Okay, important inputs will be given to you so as to get the optimum marks in the coming exam. Yeah. So guys, so that's it with the weightage with respect to the literature and the grammar part. We'll be learning more such important inputs in the coming videos. So the PU board has released an official question bank, a revised question bank, and all the important questions from both the literature and the grammar part are available in the revised question bank. So if you, in case you have not come across the question bank, please feel free to access it in our WhatsApp channel. Please join the WhatsApp channel. The link is given in the description below. So we will, as we go through, we'll learn some more interesting inputs for the English exam. This is Darryl Matthew signing off. Thank you.